Subtitles, "You won't believe what's next." He was about to draw his gun to kill the lion when he saw a little girl watching him intently. Seeing the gun, the girl fled into the woods like a scared rabbit, eyes fixed on him as if seeking an explanation. There was no harm intended, the gun was just for the lion. Seeing that the little girl seemed willing to listen, he started playing the dad card. At this point, he and his wife had a son and a daughter, and were living with another couple, all super friendly and ready to welcome the homeless little girl with open arms. When he saw the girl lowering her guard, he moved closer to check her wounds, only for her to let out a scream, leaving him a bit flustered. He decided to help the little girl, assuring her that he would wait for her in the car, sending a subtle SOS and leaving the choice entirely to. Upon returning, he saw the injured lion had fled, feeling somewhat annoyed. Soon, the girl appeared before his car. She gave him an apple, showing he had been hungry for long. After a few bites, he smiled sweetly. Through the rearview mirror, he saw the girl hiding like a rascal and was warmly greeted by his wife and kids at home. Upon hearing the girl's arrival, Blackie instantly showed tenderness, and the kids eagerly invited her, but she didn't respond. Nervously, she sat in the corner as he and other adults guessed her age at 10 and discussed her past. Her screams spiked their hearts when he approached. He suspected she might be experiencing post-traumatic stress, becoming wary of those who approached her. Overnight, Maureen, the other couple's wife, offered food to the girl, who nervously knocked it over. She clutched Maureen's wrist tightly, as if assessing the scene earlier, noticing that Maureen had just as many scars on. "I'm just a little girl too. I've faced abuse before," Maureen said kindly. "I understand your fear." Then she encouraged the girl to touch her soft hair and eventually won her trust. Maureen brought the girl to the bathroom, filled the tub, and shared that she once arrived at this small town in Desperation. At the sight of the welcome sign, Maureen recalled the warmth from her arrival, leaving the girl in a private space. They continued to search deeper and soon stumbled upon a dilapidated cabin filled with terrifying torture devices. After cleaning the girl up, Maureen settled her in a room and headed to the living room to read a letter she found. It was a letter from the girl's mother addressed to everyone, revealing that the girl's name was Ivy and she was a child of misfortune. The family survived after a strange virus struck, but her mother's husband placed all the blame squarely on. In a fit of rage, her mother subjected Ivy to horrific abuse, causing her to stop speaking. Though her mother tried hard to protect her daughter, she was becoming weaker by the day. Thus, when the mother realized her time was short, she penned this desperate letter, praying for Ivy's redemption. Maureen remembered her own suffering upon seeing the girl, and even faced with her husband, she hesitated to bring it up. After living together for a year, an unexpected alarm went off nearby, throwing them all into a panic. Everyone investigated the noise source, guessing Ivy's husband might arrive. After confirming there was no threat, they lowered their weapons, realizing it was just a boy named Ralph who set off the alarm, leaving them all. Once they confirmed there was no ill intent, Eve welcomed the four, and Ralph quickly bonded with Eve's two kids. They started from Ashland, Oregon, and upon Jonah's start, saw Eve's welcome message on the wall, then went in out of curiosity. A woman named Maureen was present, introducing her team and mentioning she was a surgeon. But soon, realizing they didn't click, it got awkward. After meeting Ezra and Jenny in Ashland, along with their son Ralph, the four quickly formed a warm family unit together. Plague, once again, struck, and they had no choice but to flee Ashland. Even though Eve warmly welcomed them to stay, she worried that their presence might pose a threat to their big family. Mama Eve took the initiative to comfort her, advising not to overthink, and this finally helped Eve let go of her reservations. When she went out to gather supplies, she left Ralph home in the care of Eve and Maureen, before leading everyone else on their mission. Suddenly, a buffalo blocked their path, causing everyone to stop and some to wander off on foot. Maureen decided to take matters into her own hands and check the hospital, only to find patients had been chewed to the bone by rats. She grabbed a fire extinguisher to deal with the rogue dog and discovered a locked door. Smashing open the door with the extinguisher, she strutted inside to find shelves packed with medicine. She packed the medicine to go back, others stared helplessly at her full pack, and she returned home before dark. With the guitar in hand, they set up a bonfire party that night, with the former folk singing Jenny treating everyone to a lively tune. Everyone began to realize the biases they had formed over the years had to be shed, and they resolved to embrace more people. In pursuit of a harmonious community, Jenny was plagued by pain over her lost child, turning to alcohol for solace. The next day, Maureen noticed her odd behavior and could only comfort her, promising not to bring up Ezra anymore. With Maureen's help, Jenny eventually came to terms with her pregnancy, and as time passed, her belly slowly grew. She settled in at home to nurture her pregnancy and safely welcomed her child, while Maureen and Al also welcomed their own love child. The once quiet Ivy began to open up in such a harmonious environment as more children joined them. She became focused on educating the kids, taking her youngest son to the library to choose textbooks. But outside, the wind howls, and Ivy felt an ominous sense, quickly driving back home through the rain, only to find her dog was missing.